semicolon. Then let's just copy and paste. Else if greater than 80, this is B. Else if greater than 70, this is C. Else if greater than or equals to 60, that is D. Then otherwise, new student that C grade equals F, semicolon. Okay, so this is just only for single structure. Take note, this is just only for the single structure, not yet the array of structure. Now, how are we going to display all the values? So we can display cout, name, and then we can use new student dot first name space new student at last name new student that last name, and then let's just display the GPA and the course grade. GPA is new student that GPA, and then equivalent grade is new student that course grade and L, semicolon. Okay, so that's what we're going to output. So let's run the code. Let me check first. Struct 1. First name, for example, I have Gloren. Then I have Fuentes. Test score, for example, is 89. Programming score is 78. So the output is Gloren Fuentes. GPA is 83.5. Equivalent grade is B. So if we want to display 2 decimal places on top of, before displaying the entire value, you may also use cout, fix, and then we have set precision, parentheses 2, semicolon. So let's say, for example, another run. How about if my first name is 2 name? So I can do that. For example, Jose Antonio, and then I have Fuentes. My test score is 89 and 90. Then press enter key. So Jose Antonio Fuentes, GPA is 89.5. Equivalent grade is B. Okay, let's try to make use of a function declaration. So let's separate from the main program. Let us remove this later on, the process of getting the course grade and the final output, name GPA is equivalent grade in another function declaration. So this one is with return and this one is with no return. Okay. So how are we going to do that, for example? So let's have first the with return value. So the definition or the declaration of the variable name or the structure name is student type. So I'm going to use student type, and then I'm going to get C grade, parentheses. Um, so we need to have also here student type. Okay, let's just use that one. No passing parameter, but with return value. That's fine. Okay, next is the other one is void for the output, get print. And then, so we have a parameter, we have student type. And then let's make the parameter name as the student. That's why I omitted student in the declaration within the main. I'm going to make use of a student as the parameter of new student. Then I'm going to copy this one below. Later on, I'm going to revise na lang. if there's a problem with this function. And then the other one is get print. Okay, now, so how are we going to put this one? So since it is a definition, which is a global declaration, so we can access actually the members within the structure type, name student type. Okay, so I'm going to cut this portion and put it here. And then I'm going to use return. So instead of, ayun, so here, yeah, we can access the new student. No, we cannot access the new student. So I'm going to make use here of a declaration student type. Then let's just X student. Then instead of new student, I'm going to copy X student here. And then let's return X student dot C grade semicolon. Okay, so let's just revise later on if there's a problem within this code. So we need to use with return. That's why we have return statement here. And then the name of the function is get course grade. There's no any parameters within the parentheses. So that's why we created another object within the function get C grades for us to compute and get the course grade by performing and getting the GPA. And then this one, sorry. And then this one, I'm going to cut this again, this portion, then put it here in the get print. So instead of new student, I'm going to make use only of student since I'm going to use the parameter student here. So I'm going to type student only. Okay, so there's no return since this is void. Only with return is this get C grade. Now, from the main program, how are we going to access the function? So right after performing and getting the new student, so we need to call the function, okay, get grade. But how are we going to do that? So again, I need to use another variable here. So let's make it stud, okay, or stud. So stud equals calling the function get C grade, parentheses, semicolon. Okay, so I'm going to call get C grade to compute for the course grade since we need to send the value of the GPA here. So I need to have the parameter here also as well. So let me just type again, student type. Let's have X student this time, X student. Kasi nandito yung process. Here's the process. That's why I need to have the parameter here. But if the process of the GPA is within also the get C grade, there's no need for us to have the declaration of the parameters here in the parentheses of the get C grade. So since GPA is there, so I need to put parameter within the get C grade. So I need to call the get C grade and send the value of new student. Okay. So new student, X student. So we can omit this portion. X student is this one, X student. Okay, then return X student dot grade, or we can also return whatever the, we can actually return only the X student. Okay, but here, let's just specify the value. Later on, if there are errors, let's just revise the code. Now, for the output, so after computing the value of the course grade, we can now display the value of the output. So let's just call get print, and then new student, semicolon. So again, we just add the function declaration get grade and get print. So this one is with return and this one is with no return. So for the with return, we are going to compute for the course grade. That's why we need to send the value of the GPA. But instead of sending only the value of the GPA, why not send the entire value of the structure name, object names, new student. Actually, you can also put that GPA. Okay, but here I just want to send the entire value instead of only the new GPA. You may do that. You can actually perform that if that is a uh, simple or single structure. Let's run the code. New student, sorry. This is should be X student. Same thing. You may also use only X student, semicolon. Let's run the code. So again, first name, Lauren Fuentes, 8978. So the equivalent grade is why it's just a single quotation mark.